For the second time in his 42 years, an Easton man is in need of a live donor. Jason Lee was only 7 years old when he received a bone marrow transplant after a diagnosis of AML leukemia.
Now, in a strange twist of irony, Jason is in need of a kidney. A result of the strong chemotherapy that he received in preparation for the bone marrow transplant 33 years ago. And Jason joins us this afternoon in Historic Studio D. Thank you so much.
Thanks for having me.
You have already beaten some pretty extreme odds.
I have. It was 1987, and I got diagnosed with AML leukemia, and it was back then it was really kind of cutting edge.
Yeah.
With some John Hopkins did a little bit of treatments, but they couldn't do unrelated bone marrow transplants. So I had to end up in Milwaukee, Wisconsin at Children's Hospital, where we had to search for an unrelated donor because no one in my family matched. So we had to go through all that, and I was in the hospital for a couple years, spent a lot of time at Ronald McDonald House. They took care of us, took care of a lot of the bills. And here we are 42 years later. Of course, your parents don't think about, you know, your 40 years from now child having issues.
Yeah.
They think about your child living.
Yeah.
So here we are 42 years later, and my parents have me. I'm an only child. And now we have a little bit of heart failure issues, but they're treatable.
Yeah.
But the bigger problem really became the kidney disease.
Now, in addition to surviving, you know, the leukemia, which back then it was not a big survival rate, you are the longest living unrelated bone marrow transplant recipient with a still living donor.
Yes.
Right.
Yep.
And in addition to that, because of this bone marrow transplant, you made a lifelong friend.
Yes, I did. Her name's Lori Groen. She lives in Milwaukee, which was convenient because it was right in Milwaukee where we were doing the thing. She works for the Postal Service. She's retired now. We're still great friends. We talk on Facebook all the time. And she actually tried to do kidney donation for me, but I think due to age and some other complications, it just wasn't the best fit.
Yeah.
So you need a kidney.
Need a kidney. You know, I needed a specific kidney. I need an O-negative kidney. So I share a rare blood type with about 2% of the population.
So why do you need a kidney?
So due to the chemotherapy and the radiation, I guess that those drugs and the radiation just did enough damage to the organ to only live that, probably about 45 years.
Gotcha.
I'm down to I got down all the way down a couple months ago to about 11% functionality on they call it the GFR, globulin filtration rate. I'm not sure the technical term. And then I had to be hospitalized, had to have blood transfusions, and then they had to put me on dialysis. So,
and you're still doing dialysis?
So I started dialysis about 2 months ago, and I do it twice a week at DaVita in Easton. They're a wonderful team, a wonderful crew, and but I like to have my life back and my freedom, and not to be on the kidney list for the rest of my life.
Yeah. Goodness gracious.
Time is of the essence.
Time is of the essence. I mean, you can be on dialysis for a long time, but it does degrade the body and does degrade the heart a lot. I'm in pretty stable condition. I look pretty fairly decent, have good color.
Right.
But it's you want to search and try to raise awareness too. So what got me into doing this was not only just a kidney for me, but to raise awareness because there's a lot of disinformation in the industry.
So what is the process of becoming a living donor?
So the process of becoming a liver donor with University of Maryland is to go online, a website, and you can check living donor for kidney, living donor for liver. Those are the two most common. And then you got to go through a series of questions. And the questions can be anywhere from like your background history in your family, any drug use, any alcohol use, hereditary, diabetes, etc. So you're either immediately disqualified or you're moved on to the next stage.
Yeah.
And the next stage is they send you a blood work kit. And then you see that blood work kit. You do take the blood work kit to a LabCorp or a lab, and then you send it back to University of Maryland, and then they give you they kind of set you down the path.
Yeah. And you don't always have to be an exact match.
No, so that's the disinformation that I found going through this, is that everyone that wants to donate in says, well, I wish I could donate to you, but I'm AB or I'm B positive, a different type. There's a program with UNOS, University Network of Organ Systems, I believe that's the name, and you can do a kidney cross match. So if you're someone like yourselves wanted to donate a kidney in for the good of man or mankind, and you can donate a kidney in, and even though it doesn't match me at all, it's going to match somebody on that list. So and you donate it in my name, and then I get to the top of the list or further up the list. as far as recipients go,
Yeah.
or eligibility.
Right.
And then when an O negative kidney becomes available on that list, then I would be selected for that.
So if somebody wants to be part of that, how do they get up with you, or do you have a website, or?
So there's the website is for University of Maryland, or you can probably just Google University of Maryland kidney donation or live kidney donation,
Okay.
and then you're still going to have to go through that initial process of the screening, and then make sure you're eligible. But if you're healthy enough to do it, you're going to save 2 lives.
That's wonderful.
So who wouldn't want to do that?
Wonderful.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Well,
so
Jason-
you don't have to be a direct O negative kidney match for me to be saved. You can save someone else, and
And in the
and then
process-
eventually I'll get there too.
There you go. Wow.
Yeah, Jason, thank you so much for coming in, and we wish you the best of luck.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think it's
I'm
gonna.
hoping that we don't have to wait, the full 5 to 8 years, which is
Yeah.
the average for the O negative, but we can reach a good audience and raise awareness.
Absolutely.
Jason,
Thank you
thank
so
you.
much.
Thank you.